talk about Red Bull, my new team. Over the off season, they announced a partnership with Ford. In what's going to be a new era come 2026. But if we were to look back on 2022, what dominant season it was for them. They just literally crushed the opposition, especially when it came to races. I think Max ended up with like 15 wins. And yeah, I suppose in the middle of that, they got hit with a fine. They got hit with a breach when it came to the cost cap, which has compromised their wind tunnel time. I think it's reduced it by 10%, which means that the ability for them to sort of develop throughout the season, is not going to be there. So do you think that's going to affect them, Mahad?
I would think so. I think it wouldn't affect them at the beginning because obviously they built that car before even the ruling came out. They've kind of designed what their 2023 car is going to be and the kind of base on what obviously they've got the base, which is a very, very good base, which is the 2022 car. And they're going to build on that. And they've already started on that. But I think it's really going to hamper them when it comes to time for upgrades throughout the season. Will they be still bringing upgrades to Spa and later on down the season if they've got this cap, if they've got this limit on what they can do? Originally, obviously, if you win constructors, you've got the lowest time anyway. And then on top of that, you've got even more of a limitation. So it really just depends on if these rules actually work. They've got an advantage, obviously, because they have the fastest car from last year. They have one of the best drivers on the grid, just in his absolute prime. So that's another advantage there as well. Will they start off hot? I think they'll start off hot. I think they'll probably win 3-4 on the bounce. In terms of later on down the season, we'll see what happens in terms of will these rules finish them or will it be okay? Because we've seen Red Bull really be dependent and they're quite relentless with it as well. Just like upgrade. If there's someone breathing down their neck, if there's a Mercedes, Ferrari there and they've got an advantage over them, it's a problem.
Do you think that now, so when Mercedes dominated in 2014, they went on and they literally dominated the sport for like the next 4 or 5 years. Can you kind of see that trend forming at Red Bull, or do you think that's not going to happen this year?
I think this year is going to be different. I think this year is going to be because these rules are in place where I feel like in the past when we've seen places be dominated, absolutely dominated eras by one single team, it's because there was no limitation on what they could throw money at. If you're just focusing on how to go faster and faster and faster, and you've got unlimited funds to just throw money at that, we've seen it with like Ferrari, we've seen it with Mercedes. Like if you hit it on, you can dominate for a long period of time until these said rules change. I don't think it's like that in this period. Like later on, in a couple of years, maybe like 2024, 2025, 2026, we'll start to see the teams that have had that advantage and have money close that gap or even exceed. And those the limitations that they've had previously, the non-limitations that they had previously, which made them kind of like spend their way out of issues. You can't do that anymore. Mercedes can't spend their way out of problems. Red Bull can't spend their way out of problems. It's really about, okay, who takes advantage and who's more agile as a team to take get the most out of the situations. And I think we're not going to see periods of domination of, Red Bull's going to win like 5 on a trot, 6 on a trot, or Mercedes win 5 on a trot, 6 on a trot. That's the whole purpose of these rules. Maybe I got too much faith in the rules, but the whole purpose of it is not to allow domination anymore. And for it to be closer racing and then for it to be a switch up. F1 in their eyes, they would love a different team to win every year.
I think the ironic thing is too that they ended up winning 15. It was 15 races they ended up winning. Maximum 15, I don't know. They ended up dominating last year. Martin, got a question for you. So you reckon from the moment that the cost cap sort of allegations came in, they, knew he got his notebook out and started trying to figure out a plan for 2023?
Probably. I mean, the guy already probably built a car in his head already, so
That's the thing is you can't stop this guy from scribbling down notes about the car because he's literally a textbook guy. He works with pencil and paper.
Yeah, he's old school like that. And his methods haven't failed him yet. So I don't know what much you can say about Red Bull, to be honest. I mean, they're going to have a fast car. They're probably going to dominate at some point this season. Hopefully not at the beginning. Maybe at least make it look like it's a challenge for them. But yeah, I just think Red Bull just need to watch out for Red Bull's problem this year is going to be PR, and that's it. They can't take any more PR hits as a company. Like they had 3 or 4 last year. They had how many in 2021? It can't keep on continuing. So hopefully, I think the only improvements Red Bull need to make is keeping Christian Horner off Sky Sports, and that's it. 40%, out of all the team principals, he had 40%.
Bet he was loving
it. He wants to talk to them, innit?
No, bruv.
He loves it. He loves it.
If YouTube wouldn't demonetize us, I would have just said something else, bro.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't. All right, Mahad, I want to come back to you. So we spoke about the reserve driver at Mercedes. It's only right to speak about the new reserve driver at Red Bull.
He's not a reserve driver.
But that's Liam Lawson, but he's the
Lawson's the reserve driver.
Sorry, my bad.
Ricciardo's the show driver.
The show driver. Sorry. How do you think he is? As you reckon, what do you reckon he's going to do? Do you reckon he's going to be looking at Perez and thinking, "I'm going to take that off you come 2024"?
I think a lot of the impending threats for Red Bull are internal, in terms of that situation between Perez and Max. Don't think it's not a good situation. Don't people think it's rosy? It's not rosy there. It's not rosy at all. It might blow up into a thing. And
Perez has been talking spicy as well recently.
Perez
he's
talking
been saying
like
a few things.
Yeah,
he's like, I know. They need to make the car a bit more for me now.
Perez is talking like he's going to do something.
But you have to understand, Perez, and I think this is the case for all Formula One drivers. There was a point in time, even if it's for one single race, he outpaced Max. So if he feels like he's outpaced Max, he thinks in his head that he's better than Max. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's for one race or one weekend, in his head, his camp are going to be like saying, this is you can take over this team. You can win a championship and so on. Right?
What race was that last year?
What is it? Are you talking about Monaco, Baku? What race was it?
Monaco, he was dunking on Max's head. He was dunking on Max's head.
There's a question mark on that one still. There's an asterisk on that one still. There's
allegations because of the situation.
Because he binned it on purpose. But
so it's one of them ones. It's a bit spooky.
It's not that spooky.
But I think that doesn't, Chris. You can say that, but that doesn't take away the fact that Perez actually thinks that.
I think Perez actually.
He could be.
No, he has to.
I think Perez has every right to think that.
Yeah, but you have to. If you're on the top seat and you get an opportunity to win.
But no, also that you remember Perez was the quicker driver after the first five races or something like that. He was. No. He was because
but he was
getting the best out of the car.
He was with him. It's not like he was light years behind him.
Yeah, but okay, the gap wasn't scary, but he was never faster.
I'll take it. We're going off the point.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is Perez has got a situation where it can get very toxic very quickly. Let's say he starts disobeying team orders. Let's say it starts getting a bit spicy in the media, if it gets a bit Webber and Vettel-ish, Red Bull won't play games. Red Bull will just get rid of Perez.
Simple as.
Yo, Ricciardo, come in. Because Ricciardo will play the PR game. He's just happy to be here. He's just like, I've got a seat. He don't care. He already knows right now that he's washed. He got washed up by Lando.
I don't think he'll do it.
If he's in a situation where they say, you just sit in the seat, it's fine.
If he has shame, he shouldn't do that, bruv.
He will.
Do you
Of
think
course
this guy has shame? He
Danny
goes to
Rick will.
racetracks on a horse. What are you talking about? Shame?
Bro, the guy.
Yeah, man,
He went to a racetrack with a horse and finished second to last. Be serious.
He needs to
He took
develop
50,
shame, bro.
he took 15 million a year out of your team, Mahad.
And now he's doing PR campaigns around doing all these deals with Ford and that. He's basically just he's just a PR man. He's a TV show host. Get me?
I've heard that in Australia, that's when he's going to make his mind up if he's going to think about coming back for real or just packing his bags and just being, I'm done with Formula One. So we'll get the answer on Danny Rick in Australia. To be fair,
He'll be back.
Pack your
I think he'll be
bags up and leave. Gone.
Okay, do you know what? I think, Red Bull, they've got that kind of deal. You're right, Mark.
To the left,
kind
to
of
the
PR.
left.
They've got the
Everything
PR.
on in the butts to the left.
They've got the PR.
and I'm not allowed to sing Pink Panthers. Okay, I see how it is.
Lord have mercy. So I've lost track now, man. You guys.
We're talking about Red Bull, yeah? Like, look, after everything that happened at the end of 2021, and then you look at 2022, they like genuinely had a fast car, and it seemed as though they were winning on merit. They had all the wins, they were cruising, they had the bit between their teeth, and then this came out about breaching the cost cap, and then you start to remember everything that happened in Abu Dhabi and some of the stuff that was said. They weren't seen good in the media. They weren't seen as a team that everyone likes. So I do agree with you guys in the sense that they have to do a lot of PR this year to look as though they're like a well-established team and can be seen as genuinely a fast car, because people now will just turn around and say, you know what, you're fast, but you spend too much money.
It doesn't really matter if people like their team or not, but there's another kind of thing that it's like lurking in the background. Obviously, they've got this deal with Ford now. We've got this badging exercise for 2026. It's going to be Red Bull powertrains. They're actually going to make their own engine. So prior to any kind of like previous talk with like deals with Honda and so on, I think they couldn't make the whole half an engine being built in Japan, half an engine being built in Milton Keynes to work. So now I think one of a distraction for them is that they have to work on that, building their own engine. Will they be distracted? I'm hearing Adrian Newey only works 50% of the time on the F1 team. He's building his Valkyrie car, so he's not going to be about as much. He's working 50% of the time on the F1 team. Will these distractions between drivers, working on the Red Bull powertrains, Newey not being around as much, is that going to kind of, and the penalties they got from last year, is that all going to combine them, slowing them down a bit?
I think it's a big year for Horner, but personally, I don't think Horner lets that happen. I think if anything happens between Max and Checo, he'll be straight in to sort it out. When it comes to Ford, I reckon they're just going to be working on that electrical component, because Ford are, really good when it comes to electrical energy. Just look at their electric cars. I think when it comes to Newey, he's known for time that Newey isn't going to be there forever. And Newey has been working on these, what is it, like the touring car or something? The
Valkyries. So it's going to be a road car. I don't know who wants to buy a Red Bull road car. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but they're going to design it. And at the end of the day, I can turn around to you guys in 4 years' time and say Horner has masterminded a new engine. And he's literally done every single thing in F1.
And let's address the elephant in the room, yeah? First of all, what team are you supporting now? You support Red Bull, right?
This year, I might support Red Bull.
No, you said no. Let's not.
Nah, I'm joking.
Okay, he's Red Bull. He's Red Bull.
Because you're saying you're Ferrari and Red Bull. Which one is it?
Can I not be both?
No. He's Red Bull, but if Charles wins races, he's gonna pick. He's a bit like me.
It's not that. I need you to pick one now. This is the start of the season. Pick one now.
No, I can't pick one right now, because listen, there's something known as the Anik curse. Okay, if I go and pick a team that I want to win, they will not win. The curse is real, bro.
So
the curse is real.
So Red Bull then.
I might just support Mercedes, you know that. I might just think,
if you don't like
I've got
Mercedes,
so much.
you support Mercedes, right? You get me? If you don't want them to, if you're smart, I know what you're trying to do. He's trying to say, I'm going to support Red Bull, guys, because he doesn't like Max Verstappen. So if he supports Red Bull and Max Verstappen and they fail, that's Anik curse working. And then he's won in that scenario.
Fuck.
You're trying to play 3D chess, but it's not
You
working.
can't play
I'm
3D.
trying to. My head's scrambled right now. Look, I'm gonna go for Red Bull. Fuck it. Horner is the only guy that can stop the Anik curse. Horner is the only
Condolences to all Red Bull fans watching and listening. Your team is taking it L now.
I'm going for.
You know the only person that can beat your Anik curse? Messi.
Mikel Arteta.
Not Mikel Arteta.
No. I had to spend how much money on Type that day when Alex said he's supporting Arsenal. I went to church, put money in the Type. I said, God, please.
Now what? 1.6.
Bro, what's happened since then?
No,
Arsenal haven't won a game
that
since then.
But then we stopped playing on Sundays. So like, it only worked on Sundays. Like, only works on Sundays. Every other day of the week, it didn't work no more. It is what it is.
Right.
Saka's not reading his Bible.
But anyway, Mahad, for clarity, it's Red Bull, and my drivers are Max and Leclerc. Lewis didn't make the cut, unfortunately.
What kind of nonsense is this? Max and Leclerc, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
Max and Leclerc.
It's one of those 30.
Oh yeah, can I get one more clarification before we leave? Yeah, can I get one clarification? Is Leclerc better than Lewis Hamilton?
I'm not going to answer that question. I can't answer that question yet. I'm not answering it on the pod either.
And
put me on the spot.
You would say Max Verstappen's better than Hamilton now. You probably already think that. But,
yeah. Max
but wasn't you berating me on this podcast for a very long time for me even saying Max is on levels? And
you know what?
Why has Max only got this amount of wins? How much wins he's got since then? You was the biggest Max hater ever.
No. You know what it is, Mahad? It takes someone to appreciate where they went wrong. And I'll put my hand up, and I'm very honourable. I'll say I was wrong. Okay, I got it wrong with Max. He's a very talented driver. He's probably the best driver on the grid right now. So I'll put my hands up and say I was wrong. What more do you want me to say?
We needed that on wax. That's all.
You know what? That's fair enough. Because you see me, I'm still waiting to hate on Max. I'm in the shadows, just waiting. Just give me another driver to dunk on Max. Yeah, that's not Lewis Hamilton. I'm cooking it.
I don't think another driver can. Listen, I look, real talk.
Wait,
I actually
George,
don't think there's
I've
another
made the
driver
bet
that
already.
can.
Wait, George.
I'm leaving. I'm done.
There's no one else.
Stupid.
Yeah, I gave up on Charles. Yeah, see France. That was the last straw.
That's the Anik curse in full effect. The Anik curse was in full effect last year. All right, guys, let's do a quick round the table. Can we do predictions, Mahad? We can do predictions.
You guys can do it. I'm not doing my one yet. So
you're not going to do predictions.
Skip me. You guys do it.
Okay. Sitting on the fence, yeah, just like me when it comes to Charles and Lewis. I'm going to sit on the fence. You can sit on the fence. Chris, what's the order?
I'm gonna say Merc first, Ferrari second, Red Bull third.
What?
But I will say this: Max Verstappen is going to finish top 3 in the championship. I'm waiting on to see. I'm waiting at the end of the week, then I give my full predictions with a proper hot take. We have that podcast coming where what I said makes sense. But Max is finishing top 3 in the championships, but Red Bull are finishing third in the constructors.
Wow. Martin?
Ferrari finishing outside top 4. Top 3, sorry.
Wow.
That's all going to happen.
Okay. What about Red Bull?
Probably win it.
Mercedes second then?
I suppose so. They fall into
this guy's checked out, man.
Bro,
I'm sorry to this guy is not providing content right now.
I'm sorry, you lot are talking too much. You lot are talking too much about.
That's just that.
And
look,
that's just
Martz is here for Lewis alone, and I respect that.
Martin, you got to focus on what's going on at home. That's what you got to focus on. You got to look at Mercedes and see. Tell them to step it up. Tell them to fight with us.
As long as
you're the biggest hater of Mercedes.
I am.
Yeah.
No, I am. As long as my guy gets his race wins, we're good. I'm good.
Fair enough. All right.
I couldn't care less about that team where they finished.
Anik, give us your predictions. Don't try to skip it.
It's simple as Red Bull 1, Ferrari 2, Mercedes 3. But as I said, after listening to last week's pod, that I think McLaren could do something. If there's going to be a team that's going to get ahead of Mercedes, it'll be McLaren.
You're setting us up, man. Don't even say that ever again.
Anik cursing full effect.
6. Please don't do that, man.
No, you never know. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the pod. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Again, follow us on Twitter at Pitstop Fracas, as well as Instagram at Pitstop Fracas. Until next time, peace.